one or more things. Now, the psychology on which I'm talking, that psychology is called Gestalt Psychology. Gestalt Psychology. I am a Gestaltist. That means I believe more in totality than on parts. Not on Kanishka and Harshavardhan separately, but on history as such, Indian history. What is the overall pattern of Indian history? So that is the structure, total pattern. And individual items are details. You know about Bernard Shaw? Bernard Shaw? Englander, but he particularly belonged to Ireland. He's an Irish. Bernard Shaw, he said one thing which is very witty, very funny, that though he who can, like to Bernard Shaw, Mukul Kumar Bernard Shaw, he who can does. He who can does, D-O-E-S. He who cannot teaches. Ji pare kore. Engineering, if he knows engineering, he becomes an engineer. He works in the laboratory, in the site, in construction of buildings, bridges, etc. He who can does, he who cannot teaches. Ji noar hai to I know padhai. Ero enake koribi. Talk koi de khwa ko. To pass kori na. Goriga, he who can is better. He who can, he does. He who cannot. Let me give you another small problem connected with Gestalt Psychology. One mother in a village, that mother is intelligent but not educated in the modern sense. She has never been to school, never been to university, college, but intelligent, quite intelligent. She asked her son to go to the field and see how many persons are working in the field and how many bulls are there. Bulls, B-U-L-L-S, bulls, harguru. The keita harguru ase or kezon manu ase. Sayasun. The boy came back. Boy is also equally intelligent, perhaps. He said that in the field there are 22 heads, matha, mur, and 7 heads and 22 legs. The mother came to know the answer immediately. Can you find out, can you tell me how many men and how many bulls? Altogether 7 heads. If you know the answer, don't shout. Please write at the corner of your page. I'll come near you and raise your hand. Right answer is 3 men and 4 bulls. Saita hargur holora thing, or tinta manor sota thing, 22 legs and 7 heads. But how do you arrive at the right answer? That is more important for a teacher. In one of the lectures, there was a small boy sitting. It was in Assam. He said, "Sir, more kaunike, more kwan. Tim kuniasla ni, blow more kuniasla. More kiman toto, more the tinta manu, saita harguru. More, how do you come to the answer? Then he muk kosi more sir ki koru ene bhabi lolu bonte 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. He goes, hold on. The small boy told me that whether it is a man or a bull, minimum 2 legs to thaibo lebo. So minimum 2 legs I have given to all the 7. And that also mentally, not physically, mentally. And he said it 7, so 14 legs are gone. How many are left? 8 are left. So I distributed 2 again in the second. So these are bulls and these are men. Is it not wonderful for a small boy? So what I conclude from this episode, that we have a lot to learn from young children. We have a lot to learn from young children, how they see, how they perceive. We impose on them. And perhaps it was Pablo Picasso, who was a great painter. He once said that when a small boy or girl draws a picture, it is wonderful don't correct it, don't rectify it. আমি শুধৰাই দিওঁ, শুধৰাই দিলে তাৰ ক্ৰিয়েটিভিটিটো নষ্ট কৰি দিওঁ, নাইকিয়া কৰি দিওঁ। First of all, what do you see here? কোনোবা এজনে কৈছে ট্ৰাইংগল, ট্ৰাইংগলটা আছেনে বাৰু? Right, triangle নাই, but 3 corners are there. But you see a triangle also. Triangular, the 3 dots are arranged in a triangular form. Whether you say or not, but you see that. Triangle is not here. So triangle is not there on the picture. No triangle. But you see a triangle. So you perceive. Sometimes you perceive some of the things which is not there on the picture. Here you see a white triangle which is not there on the picture, but you see. Put things in a proper perspective so that the student, it's a perceptual field. Please write down the phrase, perceptual field. As a teacher, our duty is to create a perceptual field so that students can see things in their proper perspective. That we as a teachers should show the things in such a way that the students see things in their proper perspective, how they are interrelated. And then they will discover some of the things which are not even present there, just as the white triangle here. Perceptual field. We teach a lot, students do not learn. When I got a British Council scholarship once in 1970-71. I was mostly in Scotland, but I visited many other places in England. Then I taught in some schools. সেই স্কুলবিলাকত যেতিয়া মই পঢ়াইছিলোঁ, দেখি বৰ আচৰিত হ'লোঁ. I was surprised to see that there is not so much of teaching there, but there is a lot of learning on this part of the students. পঢ়াব ইমান নালাগে. For example, science. I'm a teacher of science. Basically, I was. Say I have to teach them about the Newton's laws of motion. There, I have to go to the laboratory, set the laboratory. There will be, say, 5 or 6 tables where they will come and work. So I have to set the laboratory. There are some large planks of wood. It can be raised in a slanting manner, and some trolleys will come down, and each trolley is 1 kg in weight. And another trolley, it can be fixed one above the other, and they will work with this. What is the speed coming? So they will measure speed, distance, velocity, etc., and they will come to some conclusions, and there the matter ends. In our country, we write the Newton's laws, law number 1, law number 2. Law number 2, the rate of change of momentum is proportional to the impressed force and takes place in the direction in which the force acts, etc., etc. Is it science? সেই বাক্যটো মুখস্থ কৰাটো মেলিটো প্ৰথম চকু তোমাৰ কলাতে আই কবিতা মুখস্থ কৰাৰ নিচিনা কি মুখস্থ সব সাবজেক্ট মুখস্থ খালি all subjects are boiled down to remembering sentences, and with remembered sentences you can pass any examination here in our country. That means when the perceptual field is perfect, not only you see the interrelationships among the ingredients, but you also discover things that are not there in the field of view. যেনেকৈ শংকৰদেৱ আৰু আকবৰ কোন ডাঙৰ, that you discover, that you see, that is not written in a sentence. কিন্তু সেই প্ৰফেচৰ নাপাৰিলে. So students should be raised to that level of understanding through perceptual fields of the right kind. এই বুঢ়ীগৰাকীৰ this is the eye and this is the chin, থুতৰি, এখন মুখ. দেখিছেনে বুঢ়ীগৰাকী? This is the eye, right hand eye, left hand eye. It is knock, most of the knock. This is the chin, and this is the mouth, without teeth. This is also Dibrugarh. Now, have you seen one lady looking that way? This is the ear. Hipilala size as well, Julia. It is diggy. If actually, bonnet tabani as a boga. Dexere? Narika. Nidekila Pekata Nideki, Dekila Potka Dekizai. Young woman looking that way, Epinopatla photo. It is Soku, it is Soku, and once you see both, you cannot concentrate on one alone. It goes, the other comes like that, alternately. Now, the great lesson that we the teachers should learn, that sometimes to show and tell that look at this. This is the relationship between these two. They do not see, and they do not have the guts to ask you a question also. So, Nubuze Gwishe. Upon both conceptual clear correctly, you have said correctly. But your correct statement has not been properly understood. They have not seen from your point of view. What I want to tell you is that in order to have the proper perception, when you speak or when you read, you must know where to emphasize, where to stress. Dr. Moore, when a boy or a girl fails to pass in the examination, it is you who have failed. Do you agree? Yes. If my student fails, actually I have failed to make him pass. My duty was to make him pass, to equip him with proper knowledge and make him pass. I have failed to make him pass. But no teacher takes the blame on himself or herself, puts the blame on them, and they put the blame on you. So we go down gradually. Apuni Bhai was that these boys and girls sitting in front of me are intelligent pupils. If they do not understand, it is definitely due to my poor performance, poor exposition. I have not been able to put them in a proper perspective. Tahari Bhai Polage, that this man, so intelligent, so wise, trying his best to teach us, we are not understanding, blame is on us. Put the blame on yourself, let them put the blame on themselves. Then we will go up, spirally up. But if you teach well, you get a lot of return in terms of bonus. On component come kore bonus mane paisa. Amar yat bonus mane hoise sir bhalne apuni muk tetia porhaisile higher secondary. Koti kalote porhaisilu. Ba kiman je bhal lage. We should give the material, the teaching material in such a way that it sticks into his mind. So you also should teach things in that manner, so that things become a permanent part of them, not for passing examination only. But unfortunately, I'm not talking about you. You are very good teachers, young people, full of vitality, full of life, teach well. And one gentleman, he is from England, contemporary to Bertrand Russell, he said his name is A.N. Whitehead, Dr. A.N. Whitehead, an English mathematician, A.N. Whitehead. He said that don't teach much. Whatever you teach, teach well. Otherwise, if you teach much, they will fail to see the wood because of the trees. But whatever you teach, teach well. Don't teach much, but whatever you teach, teach well. Now, in our system, we can produce students to get high marks, but we cannot produce thinkers. We cannot produce scientists. We can produce good science students. Do you agree? On the both sides, England, particularly England and America, in one country, lots and lots of scientists they have produced. Have we been able to produce? Very large country India is. আছে কিছুমান লাইনত একেবাৰে নাইকিয়া বুলি কোৱা নাই in space science. India is doing very well. But how many Indians get Nobel prizes? Look at the Nobel Prize winners. Lots and lots of Americans every year. And then European scientists. Not from Pakistan, not from England, India, not from Bangladesh. Ketepa pai once upon a time, but not regularly. Why? Because our system of education is not very good. Ami porikhat number poi diu khali. Original thinking, we do not encourage original thinking. That whatever you teach it in such a way that it forms a pattern in their mind, not haphazardly. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You classify them, how many categories they can be divided into. If you say that I have given them all the points, but have you given the points in a systematic manner? Only 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 30, that is not a structure. That is a list of items. Bozar is all sleep. Bhat kerala, tira kerala, aloo guti, piyaz, refined tel, rice. That is a market list. That will not do. Show them the structure. Tip of the iceberg means we have some lessons. And lessons are related to many things which are not included in the lesson. I give you very small examples. Suppose in the lesson, small class, I'm not talking about higher secondary or graduation class, talking about small classes in school level. Suppose in the lesson there is a word semicircle. Now when you come across the word semi, or when semi is in the lesson, with that context, you can teach them two other words which have got similar pronunciation and which have got more or less the same meaning. Can you tell me what are they? Semi is the outer shobd say in English. Pronunciation is more or less similar, rhyming words. Huh? Demi, yes, demi. Semi, demi. Another word is there. Semi, demi, and hemi. So when you find the word semi in the lesson, it is a chance for you to teach them also the words hemi and demi. Hemisphere, demigod. Give some examples. So when you find something in the lesson, connect them meaningfully with others. So it's a tip of the iceberg. Lesson is a tip of the iceberg. Large chunk of material is remain unseen. Good teacher teaches those things also. So good teacher is one who tries to open up their mental eyes. Mental doors and windows should be open for them. Generally we swim in summer because plenty of water is there. Swim. Skating is done in winter. Summer is done in. No, swimming is done in summer. Skating is done in winter. But here there is a line. We learn to swim in winter and skate in summer in bold letters. That way opposite. We learn to swim in winter. This means that whatever swimming we did in the last summer is now being consolidated in our mind and body. So when we go again in the next summer to the swimming pool or the river, we will suddenly show a lot of improvement. So this means that some period of rest is important. Don't teach them continuously. Give them some respite. In that respite period, their things will be consolidated. Consolidation. So consolidation is very important. Now, I know many students personally also. They go to the school in the morning. After that, they go to private tutors, one after another, and go back home at 9:30. He will never become a good learner. When is the time for him to consolidate? Organize things in your mind, that is education. And that part of thing can be done not in the classroom, when you are alone. Organize. I saw two kinds of thinking. One is called divergent thinking, one is called convergent thinking. And correspondingly, we have two types of questions, convergent questions and divergent questions. Convergent questions are those questions which have only one answer. If you know the answer, it's all right. If you do not know the answer, you do not know. But divergent questions means you can produce large number of different answers. But in examination, we use only convergent questions. In which year India won independence? It is that 1947 number goal. But if you put some questions in divergent form, it means the write the names of some of the people who fought for freedom, who fought in the freedom struggle of India. But what are the causes of so much of failure in the matriculation examination? What are the causes? They can possibly write. So develop that kind of thinking, convergent thinking and divergent thinking. I was sitting in a meeting, and in front of me, in the chairs, something was written in stencil. Stencil had a gap. When you write something in with stencil, gaps appear. A B, the word B. Chapter when this symbol appears before you, it can be read as B and also as 13. B and 13. But when you show this A, B, C, D, that nobody will say A, 13, C. A, B. So context confers meaning. And when you show in this sequence 12, nobody will say 12B, 14. Everybody will say 12, 13. So from there we understand that it is the context which gives the proper meaning to the word or the item. Context. So in all the question papers in our time, they will say, explain the following with reference to the context. Explain the following stanza. Thank you very much for giving me such patient hearing.